coming. Welcome to the future of Colorado football.
Yo, what poppin' people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do. Before we get started, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section. As you guys know, Colorado was hit with some violations, minor infractions, not nothing major, just some minor infractions. But one of those violations was because they self-reported that Matt McChesney and his son was on campus during the game, having a visit, and they were in the locker room and came out of the locker room and ran on the field with the team, which we all know you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. Even if you're on a recruiting trip, you can't, certain activities you can't do. Some of us that were athletes, we know all this, which I am one of those people, but that's my past. That's neither here nor there. But Matt jumped on Twitter, and he's been on Coach JB's show. If you don't know Matt, if you haven't watched the DNVR podcast, then everybody knows Matt. He's a big mouth, loud mouth. Sometimes say things that shouldn't be said. Jumped on the Ugly Man's podcast, Jason Thicklock, and said some things that shouldn't be said. But anyway, Matt says that he and his son did not do those things. They weren't even at the game. But I'm not going to explain it for him. I'm going to let him explain.
All right, happy Sunday to everybody out there. I've been trying to figure out how to approach this here for a couple of days, but thought I'd just do it. First of all, I didn't even go to the Stanford game, and neither did my son. It was an 8 p.m. kickoff. It's too late for the boys. We went to the CSU game. He went as a recruit. And, we didn't follow Little Wayne out. We were in the stands when that happened. But at the 8 p.m., we didn't get home till 3 in the morning. So that didn't work. I mean, to say that I was at the game and I went into the stands and then out of the stands and back in and followed the team out with my kid when we weren't even there is really, really, really ridiculous. I mean, Sports Illustrated and everybody else that reported this and got it dead wrong, how dare you just run my name through the mud? And then Colorado imposing this and saying that I was there. Obviously somebody up there is wrong too, because I wasn't even at the game. So, and neither was my son. And that's true that he is a 2028 recruit and he's a badass, but we weren't there. So you can't just say, well, maybe it was a different game. That's not the way it works. There's got to be some due process here. And it's lazy media. It's lazy by the NCAA. It's just all around lazy, and they're dragging my name through it, and I'm not going to stand for it. So, again, I wasn't even at the Stanford game, and now this is in Sports Illustrated and all over social media, and people are, ridiculing me for it, and I didn't even do anything. So, again, me sitting on my sofa and my kids sitting next to me and watching the game, apparently that's a violation. And I'm over this. So I'm going to talk about it in depth on Coach JB's show tomorrow morning. I'm going to talk about it on my show, 0 to 60 on the Believe Network on YouTube, so you can go check it out. But again, I was not at the Stanford game. I sat inside my house. My girl, Bree, was with me. My sons were there. I find it absolutely ridiculous that this is actually a issue. And you can't just say, well, maybe it was a different game. That's not the way due process works. So, again, just awful media coverage. Terrible. Everybody that had something to do with this, from all the, smaller publications on Twitter that just retweeted it, to everybody reaching out to me acting like, oh, this is so funny. Ha ha. Well, it's not your name. I'm sure you think it is really funny. I was not at the Stanford game. This is extremely irresponsible and lazy, and somebody's going to be hearing from my lawyer, dog, because now this is defamation of character and shit. So you don't get to just talk shit and act like, we're doing something that we did not do. So, again, just more lazy bullshit that we have to deal with out here, but this is going to be a topic of discussion moving forward, and I'm glad, because this kind of shit just can't happen. Pre-game locker room speech, and the recruit ran onto the field. We weren't even there. How would the recruit run onto the field? When we went on recruiting trips for Colorado State and USC, we had to follow the recruits into the stands, and we stood there next to everybody else, everyone. And I've got multiple guys that know that I was standing right next to. And the Nebraska game, we were there as fans. We sat in section 101 and talked shit the whole time. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that too. So, again, this is some played out bullshit. Somebody's got an agenda, and I'm coming after your ass because you better get this right. If you're going to try and throw me under the bus, you better get your mind right, and you better get your facts straight. I mean, holy shit. Acting like it's not a big deal. Obviously, it's not your name, so I guess it's not a big deal. Fuck all that. Get your facts straight if you're going to try and throw me under the bus, losers.
Now, you heard the man. You judge for yourself. And we all know, Matt, if you are a true Colorado Buffalo fan, if you follow the team, if you watch the DNVR podcast, Matt's a alumni of Colorado, a team captain. He played 6 years in the pros. He owns and runs the 6-0 Academy up there in Colorado, the Dungeon family, all those people. He pops up on Coach JB's show from time to time. And, you know, he has his own podcast. So, yet still, some of us don't like the things that Matt do. He is kind of a loudmouth. He does say things that's out of the way, you know, some things that shouldn't be said, especially that shit he said on Jason Whitlock's show when he jumped up there and didn't have all the information that Prime had a contract on the table and he wouldn't sign it, having people thinking that Prime wasn't trying to stay here for the long haul or be in Colorado for the long run. That's things that you shouldn't say, even if you know it and even if you got the information from somebody else. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this and what Coach Matt had to say. But anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. Leave your comments down in the comment section. And we out of this thing. Peace.
Thank you. God bless you all, man. Be safe.